Thank you so much, Lesia. I'm happy to open this meeting, our today's meeting, and I would like to remind everyone and tell everyone who is here for the first time that the online meetings of the Dnipro Hills Toastmasters Club are held online once a month, and today we're having one of those regular online meetings. And we are happy to see everyone here to practice English public speaking and to meet each other and to share our experiences and just to have fun, because we usually have really funny after parties, especially online, when people from all the world share their experiences, share their thoughts, and share their cultural difference, and that is really awesome and interesting. And as far as I see, Lesia, you have introduced and you have called to introduce every one of the guests. I see Diana, but I hope you have introduced Diana. Okay, thank you so much. So having said all of that, I'm happy to pass control to our today's Toastmaster of the day, our prominent member and our really devoted member who is joining us from Europe and who has just relocated but is still with us. It's Eric Helliwell, our today's Toastmaster of the day. Eric, the stage is yours. And huge round of applause. I would like to remind everyone, smile, show your support like that or like that, and switch on your camera, especially when you are called to the virtual stage. Eric, the stage is yours, and huge round of applause to Eric.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world, basically. This is the fun part of the online meetings, is we bring people from everywhere and we get to get a feel of how close and together and connected we all are. I am a kind of, as Natalie mentioned, in somewhat of a whirlwind of travel here in the last 2 weeks. I've been in Cyprus, Italy, and now I'm this morning, the first time in Malaga, Spain. It's coming to you. So I'm sort of readjusting all the time with this moving, but I'm so happy to be here and share with you today our meeting on goals. I think they're important at the beginning of the year. This is our first New Year's meeting, and we always kind of think of this upcoming year and what we want to do. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, I want to just explain to you a little bit about the format of our meetings. We're going to have some prepared speeches. Then we're going to have a chance for you guys to talk also. And then we're going to have evaluations, but we're going to do the evaluations, I think, a little bit different today, right after the discussions. Am I right, Liz? This is like kind of do a speech, and then we'll have kind of immediate feedback for our online format. We do it a little bit different in the offline meetings. But with that said, again, Natalie said as well, as often as you can put your camera on, the better it will be. The energy will be shared amongst us. I haven't showered yet today, and I have my camera on. Maybe that's TMI, but kind of we all understand we're at different times, different places. But I've had so many Zoom meetings in my life, and one of the things they will tell you in sort of when you're doing just sort of direct information exchange is not to use your cameras sometimes if it's like technical meetings, business meetings, for certain times, because more information is shared. But there is no social interaction with it. So in these type of meetings, we want the visuals over here so that we get your emotions and your feedback and that, and really feel like we're one community. And that kind of reduces the isolation that can be there sometimes with these Zoom meetings. So with all of that said, let me start real quickly here and just give an overview of what goals and the strategy for goals we're going to talk about here. So where do goals come from? Goals start with your interest. So you may like to travel, or you may like to work out. You know, these are interests. Interests lead to motivations. To where do you want to take this interest to? You know, you may be motivated to travel more, to make yourself more aware of the world and be an interesting person, more rounded and knowledgeable. You may want to feel better working out, and maybe you want to reshape a little bit with that. That leads to your goals, which is to kind of be very targeted in terms of where you want to take those motivations to. So one of the techniques for the goals is to focus on this technology called SMART goals. SMART goals. I'm going to give you a link a little bit later on over here where you can read more about it, but there's a certain strategy to do it. Let's take, for example, we want to have a successful website. All right. And so our first target when putting this goal together is to be specific. And part of being specific is to be able to use real targets, real numbers. So we don't want to say, I want more visitors to my website. We want to say something like, I want 1,000 new visitors in my first few months. Then I want to build it up to 1,000 in the next 3 months. Something like that, that is a more specific measure. So with that said, I want to also talk about the technical team that's going to help me today to finish this topic and to help us in other parts of the meetings as well. And speaking of specific, we have first up our grammarian, and the grammarian is going to tell us how to be specific in our use of English. And we're very lucky today to have a very, very knowledgeable guy. Even the English, strangely, I think he told me, is not his first language, but you would never know it. But he's very, very nice guy, very proficient in a lot of different things. And he's going to tell us about the role of grammarian and what he's going to do for us today. So let me introduce Dek Cluskey, our really great member from Ireland. Dek, please introduce yourself.
Jack Cluskey, DGM, for my sins. Speaking to you, not from Ireland, actually. I am Irish. I was born in Dublin, but I'm speaking to you from Eastbourne in the south of England today, which is about 74 miles straight down from London on the coast. We are a town very well known for having a lot of old people. I'm an old person, for goodness sake. But grammarian, yes, I'll be picking up everybody on bad grammar, good good use of language, not so good use of language. And Eric, I'm going to pull you up on a few things already, but also I'm going to recommend some of the things you've said already, which are wonderful. Wonderful stuff. So there we are. We normally, in my club, we have a word of the day. And rather than a word of the day, what I'd like to do is get everybody involved in what we call rhetorical devices. And here is one. Which way am I going? That way. Let's get over here. Episode 6. And it's a repetition of words. Now, Eric has already done it. It sounds marvelous when you do it. And when you say things like, with everything that pretty is, my lady sweet, arise, arise, arise. Just repeat a word 3 times, and it's wonderful. Margaret Thatcher famously said, this lady is not for turning. No, no, no. So there we are. Please, everybody, try and use the rhetorical device of episode 6, which is simply repeating a word 3 times. You will be shocked at how good you will sound when you use that device. Back to you, Eric.
All right, thank you very much, Dek. All right, next up in our SMART goals technique, have something measurable. So we want to, if you have a goal that's more than a few minutes, you want to be sure that you're actually meeting that goal, right? So don't hide behind these generic terms. So again, talking about our website, you can say things like brand engagement and social influence, but what do they really mean? You know, we have to have something that has, we talked about specific, but measurable means how are you actually achieving it? How are you going to tell you're reaching towards that goal? Well, our next up on our technical team is our timer, and time is all about measurement. And for this, we have very knowledgeable member for a new member, is the way I'm going to say over here. He's added a lot of value in a lot of different areas, and he's going to be our timer for today. Let me introduce Dmytro. Please tell us about your role.
Okay, hello everyone. Now, as you are already aware, I am your timer for the day, and I'm here to assist you with your timing when you are delivering your speech. The drill doesn't change, but I still need to remind you or tell you what the drill here is in terms of time if you're new here. So first of all, we have the prepared speeches. As soon as you are 5 minutes into your speech, you will see me on this green background. After 6 minutes, you will see me on this yellow background, and after 7 minutes, you will see me on this red background. The same goes for the evaluation speeches, which will occur after those prepared speeches. After 2 minutes, you will see me on the green background. After 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you will see me on the yellow background. And after 3 minutes, you will see a red background. We will then proceed to the table topics session, which is your opportunity to give an improvised speech. To all our guests, please think of this opportunity as of your time to shine and to give a 1 to 2 minute improvised speech. As you could have already understood, after 1 minute, you will see me on the green background. After 1 minute and 30 seconds, you will see me on a yellow background, and after 2 minutes, you will see this red background. Also, this session is also when you could try to provide an improvised evaluation for each of those speeches. So it should be an evaluation of up to 1 minute. After as soon as you are 30 seconds into the evaluation, you will see the green background. After 45 seconds, you will see the yellow background, and after 1 minute, you will see the red background. In order to make myself more visible, I will probably raise my hand. And lastly, if you want any audio signals during your speech, please let me know. Thank you very much. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you, Dmytro. All right, next up on our list, attainable. So we want to make something that is, it seems possible to do. Maybe very challenging, but it still seems possible. So, and again, in our idea of a website, if you want to be the most popular website in the world and even overtake Google and other things, I mean, maybe it's possible, but it seems like that's not a good goal. That seems way too high to shoot for. It maybe get in the top 1,000, you know, would be kind of a better goal to start with. Then you can move your way up. So make sure it's something attainable so you don't get frustrated. You don't get, demotivated from your goals all over and not set any going forward. So now what I think is not attainable sometimes to me is not using crutch word sounds. I think I've never done a speech where I've ever had no crutch words in between, but I do believe it's attainable. And we're going to have our distinguished director and VP of Education, Nataly Parubocha, as our counter today to tell us how we might do that. Nataly, please.
Hello again, everyone, and I'm back. And I'm back with my role of the counter. It's a special role I was really astonished about when I first attended Toastmasters meeting. And I hope, and I really believe that it is important. But already I have started counting unnecessary sounds and words, crutch sounds and unnecessary words of the speakers who already were at the stage here, have been on the stage here, and I'm going to do that throughout all the meeting. So what am I doing? I'm listening to your speeches. That is the skill that this role also helps improve. I'm listening to your speeches and I'm catching all the unnecessary words and crutch sounds, and I'm doing my notes. Here they are. There are some of them. And at the end of the meeting, I'm going to deliver my report for you to know how many unnecessary sounds you have produced, so as you can deal with it and have less of them in your following speeches. Having said all of that, I'm ready to pass control back to Eric. And guys, please relax and let us meet at the end of the meeting. Eric, the stage is yours again. Thanks.
Thank you, Nataly. Appreciate that. All right. Next up over here, realistic. We're almost getting to spelling the word out here. Now, this is a little bit related to attainable as well, but realistic tends to focus on you and your team. So something might be attainable to somebody else, but maybe not with your skills or something else. So you have to set realism based on who you are, what you're capable of, what you know your history is in that. So don't be impeded by prior hurdles that you've had to overcome. Use those as strengths. But realism is related to attainable, but again, focused more on you. So we have now time for our real speeches coming up over here. And first up is going to be our good friend from Odesa, Toastmasters Club Best Odesa. Sergii Radchenko is going to give us a talk with title Mission Impossible, and as part of his Project 3 Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. Please welcome aboard Sergei. This stage is yours.
Hello. Thank you, Eric. My title of my speech, Mission Possible, and I think it's about my goals and about the chapter what you talk in past about my story, about what's based on me. And when I started to written my speech, I asked to myself, my first mentor or my first protege, or when both of them already played their roles, not than once. But before I joined the club, I know nothing about these roles. And my journey in my club started at 2016. In January 2017, I became its member and officer. And in those days, the choice of basic education, I think, is not great, but very interesting. I had a lot of emotions, and one big problem, a level of my knowledge of my English language. And I found the mentor. My mentor was the girl, Nataly, whom I know before I came to club. We had a lot in common, and there were also differences. We both are activists, tourists, but in the same time, she is not a hurry, but unlike my battle. For my memories, our work is not intense. We did not sit for hours with questions and answers, but I grateful for her attention. During my speech, she sitting and listening and drawing the conclusions, and then came up and showed me with emotions and give recommendations. My first speech went easily and confidently, but then The sprint down went down. The sprint went down. You ask why? Because in our club, for some reason, we have some practice. Our speeches was not finished. With not finished with evaluator. And about my speeches, I have second project, 2 times, third project, 3 times, and 4th project I did 2 times in different cities, in Odesa, and then in Sunday in Dnipro. And it's a miracle because it was I was always had something to say. And my mentor, you ask about my mentor, what is Natalia? And Natalia became to mother, and club together with me moved to the second plan. And I, in this situation, not to ask and maybe not to give, no one sent me to help in this situation, but I am a strong and mighty warrior. I like to experience, I like the creativity, and I choose my own way. And I create some projects, some fairy tales in different projects in CC, in CL. And you know, in this situation, I finished my CC in 2020 in the March. But do not about laziness. I choose some leading position, leading roles rather than I given the speeches. And as you know, after when I finished my CC, my way is continue, because I create some new status. I was a protege. On in with president, but not one president. It's 3 presidents. It's a past president of our club who became then other. And I said, and I think what's leadership position is harder when oratory decision, because you create some character, you create some strong position, and then, but I can confidently say it's not easy to constantly tease others, motivate them, show them the importance of processes and results. But in fact for this, it's important. It's really important to go from protege and mentor, discovering something that many people never come to. And in this situation, I can confidently say, mission possible. Thank you. Back to you, Rick.
Sorry, my fault there. I was talking without the microphone. Great job. Give another hand to Sergei for a great job on his speech over here. And we have 1 minute to give him some feedback here with the form that's posted inside of the chat. So, Mr. Timer, please give us 1 minute for the feedback. All right, looks like our 1 minute is up over here, so we're gonna move on to our next speaker. But first, let's finish up our SMART goals today. So the last one is T, which is time bound. So to have a goal, you should put a time limit on it. If you don't have a time limit on something, it's not really a goal anymore. It's more of a dream. All right. So you may want to, again, have the most successful website in the world, but by when? When are you going to prove this? And it all gets down to sort of the measurability and the attainability of it. So we do want you to think about that. So break the goal down into the smaller steps if you can't put a time on it, to something that you can put a time on to make it happen. And I think you'll have a lot more success with it. But don't ever stop dreaming, though. Dreaming is kind of important in sort of energizing ourselves. But if you want to attain, you want to be able to put time and measure things. So with that, we put time on our speeches so that we can deliver a certain set of information in a limited period of time. And that's why Toastmasters is really a good organization. And our next person to attempt to do that very thing is our Zoom master of the day, and so much more to the Dnipro Hills Club. She's the person that you always sort of meet first in our group, and she's kind of our heart of the group. Please welcome Lesia Yurchyshyn, and she's going to talk about title Back to the Roots as part of her using presentation software. Lesia, the stage is yours, please.
Hello, everyone. Today I have a privilege to present you my another speech project. And I really hope that the content of this speech didn't offend anyone, because the main aim is just to tell you about our roots, about some of our ethnic tradition, and just to encourage you to follow them. So back to the roots, and we will start from some simple question. I see that today we have a lot of fellows from all over the world, so I'm sure you already know this guy. Yeah, just show me that you know who is this. Yeah. I saw. It's Alf. Yeah, and to everyone who knows the tradition of celebration Christmas and New Year's knows that Alf is preparing gifts for everyone. And about this guy, yeah, it's those Grinch who is stole the Christmas, and a very like popular symbol and character in a lot of Christmas cartoons. And of course, you already knew about Santa Claus, about Mrs. Santa Claus, and about all these deers. And I know that even every deer have own name. So it's something about tradition of Western European world, and all of us know a little bit about this. But for Ukrainian and for Eastern traditions, very often we knew only these guys. Yeah, do you know them? It's like Father of Frost and Snow Maid, like his granddaughter, something like that. And now I wanted to tell you and to show you about another guy, Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas, it's more than ancient tradition in Eastern Europe. And I have some investigation and found out that Saint Nicholas also are very popular in the Netherlands, Belgium, and Scandinavian countries. So Victoria, if you can agree with me, just show it too. Imagine that in Ukraine, actually, Saint Nicholas was very popular, but not only in Western Ukraine, but in the whole Ukraine. But in the 20th century, something happened to us, and this happens called like Soviet Union. And in Soviet Union, they have like atheism propaganda, and of course for them, some guys who looks like a saint, yeah, with all this cross, he should be forbidden. And they trying to like avoid celebration of Saint Nicholas, and only with this purpose they created the character of Father Frost and Snow Maid. So for those of you who are still celebrating New Year with Father Frost and Snow Maid, you should know about it and should understand that all of this was made in only because they wanted like to replace some tradition we already have, and just to show us another one. Something more about history, I just put it on the slides. Yeah, it's an article from that Soviet Soviet magazine, Pravda True, it's called. So we even have a joke that in the magazines True, the reason was true. So now you see that in the 30s of 20th century, so after Holodomor, after repression, one of Stalin's fellow just suggested to organize some New Year's celebration, some New Year's tree for children, just to give us to give them positive emotions. And with this aim, they actually created this New Year's celebration tradition. And you even see an visual which shows us that Tоварищ Stalin, thanks to you for such a happy childhood we have with all this New Year's tree and with all this toys. And you see also on the slide that even a toys on that New Year's tree was had a lot of propaganda, and we see all the stars and other symbols which also should like grow up, should help to grow up children in a special political views, which will be good for Soviet propaganda and for raising the Soviet people as well. So now I wanted just to show you another photo from that times. Yeah, our people, they continue to celebrate Christmas and continue to celebrate New Year's in at least of some ways. And you see that Soviet propaganda, they choose the way like to replace all the traditions they have, and the best way to replace it just to smash something or just to replace at least a little bit. So we see all other carols, we call it in Ukrainian like kolядка and щедрівка, and they even like rename and merge the text. You see all these visuals in the yellow color, how it shows how they manage. And also if we have our vertep or our some natural theme, we usually use it with Bentelem star. They replaced it onto the star with 5 angles, which also shows us like the Soviet propaganda and was a part of that communism style. So the aim in my speech is try to encourage you to return to our roots. So to return to celebrate Christmas, to celebrate New Year's as our ancestors do, without all that Soviet propaganda, etc. And if you wanted to continue give presents to yourself, to your beloved ones, please don't use the Father Frost and the Snow Maid. We have Saint Nicholas, we have very good traditions, and we have even more of a special Christmas mood, which created with all this good stuff. Also, as usually, I prepared you much more information. I knew that I will know have time to tell you all of this. maybe it will be some other another speech or etc. And for those who in Kyiv, I also wanted to encourage you to visit this beautiful exhibition we had in Kyiv railway station and in Ukrainian house, which calls us more about Christmas, about tradition, and also can help us back to our roots. Thanks for opportunity to sharing with you my view of all our current celebration, and back to you, Eric.
Thank you, Lesia. Very nicely done. Very good presentation. Slides too, and very important to remember our roots and not let created history overwrite the real history. So we also will have a minute to give Lesia some feedback. Lesia, can you post a link for yourself here? And timer, please, 1 minute. All right, the 1 minute is up. So we're going to go on to our next stage here. A little different in the online format than the offline. We're going to get our evaluations in place before we do our table topic sessions. But I'll just send this link in the chat here, sort of finishing up our SMART goals. This is a little bit of a little session to help you with more practical examples of creating goals, and that maybe you can find it useful. So you might want to just bookmark that link for yourself. So on to our evaluations to give feedback to Sergei, our first speaker. We have Vladimír Záhradník. I hope I got that right.
Yeah, or gardener.
What it is?
Gardener in English.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go with that one then. All right, please go ahead, Vladimír, and provide your feedback to Sergei.
Thank you. Well, guys, my task was to evaluate Sergei today and just to remind you about the goals of his project. He read some notes about how Toastmasters visions mentoring. However, his task was to share some experience of having a mentor or being a protege. And I believe that his story was relatable, at least to me. I know that I was struggling to have a speech like this because I lacked mentors in my life. But Sergei shared a story of a couple of mentors, especially Nataly, which helped him to improve his English. And I believe he succeeded in completing this project in that way. Having said that, there are certainly some things I noticed which can be improved, of course, and I'd like to share my view on that. So first of all, if you remember when your speech, Sergei, started, it was like the continuation of a chat during the break in this event. It was like not that something important just happened. You just continued with discussion with Eric, and I can recommend to pause a little bit. Your speech has some value you want to share. Focus on that. And if I could really say just one thing to you to remember, it's less is more. Your speech had a lot of words. Sometimes it came as a distracting to me because it was hard to focus on me. clearly English is not your native language and you struggle with it a little bit, which is okay, we all do. However, if you say less, you will have more time to actually think about what you say to us, and you will have more gravity on your sentences. You will have the time to focus on what you want to say. And if you remember the movie King's Speech about the King George, it's exactly what I mean. He was struggling to say a sentence because he was struggling with speaking, and he spoke slowly. And by doing that, he gave gravity to his speech, giving speeches about the World War to the British people. So that's what I would recommend to you. And also the same goes with your gestures. You used your hand gestures a lot, and it was also distracting to me because you haven't used them as a tool. You use them like to ventilate your energy, perhaps. And I would say focus less on just practice more using your gestures and use them just occasionally, not all the time. Thank you, dear Toastmasters, and back to you, Eric.
Thank you, Vladimir. Appreciate that. Next up, we'll have to give feedback to Lesia's speech. Our other member, funny member, also gives a lot of funny speeches for us over here. Oleksandr Myronchuk, please, Oleksandr, give Lesia some feedback.
Thank you. I'm going to evaluate the back to the roots speech that Lesia gave. And back to the roots, it's very interesting topic because actually, previously before the speech, I don't know what is about. I mean that this can be something related with people, something related with history of our country, maybe history of some kind of city, and it was something that intrigued me. So very good topic, and this is something that related to everyone. I'm started from opening. Lesia started from explanation that it was like something like she mentioned that she want to just tell some kind of story and don't want to like offend anything. And this is good for starting this speech. Then she started from the question, and a question is something that get attention from the audience. So it's very good starting of the speech. I really was interested, and even of some moment of this speech, I started to forget that I need to evaluate this speech. I started to listen to the speech very carefully because this was extremely interesting. It started from Elf, Grinch, something that related with our celebration, and also visual surprising. I don't expect to see all this character right now. It was unexpected for me, so it's very good opening. I really like it. I'm going to the next step, like clarity. I can say that this presentation has excellent clarity. I understand each word. The slides were very comprehensible, and this is crucial for the audience because clarity is something that that needs to take attention from the that need to be very good in order to take attention from the audience. This speech was not expositic. By that I mean that this speech doesn't replay the same word or phrase, and this is also good. Another thing, another thing that I want to mention is through all of this speech, I noticed that speaker maintained a good pace. What I mean by that, that the speaker changed tone, volume, that speaker use different speed, and it's very good for this speech. It's very understandable. And I move to the design of the speech. I really like all images and text in this speech. It was easy to read, but I want to mention something that I would like to change a little bit. I noticed that you use Ukrainian or Russian words in your speech. I mean, in images. For example, if I would be foreign, I I would not understand this content. I suggest to make some kind of translation, maybe some small translation in the bottom of the slides. It would good for the speech, and also annotate different fonts. It's also would be improved in order to be more attractive. So, and I move into conclusion. In general, I really like this speech. Back to your roots. It was a speech with high quality, and I really enjoy how the presentation wrapped up neatly and suitably. So I appreciate Lesia for delivering this very good speech, and I encourage you to continue doing these great speeches and presentation. Back to you.
Eric, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Dick. Very nice, handy card to have there. Like it. Our next session is going to be our table topics session, but it looks like our table topic master.
Yeah,
Liudmyla,
I'm here.
Are you here?
Yes.
Oh, what I was looking for you and I couldn't find you before over here. Okay, all right. So please give a warm welcome to our table topic master that's going to give our questions today that might even have some theme content about goals if I have a inclination to say so over here. So Liudmyla, I think you're lucky Irish Ukrainian. Please, the floor is yours.
Of course
Tell
I
us
am.
about
Yes.
what's going to happen.
Okay, good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and fellow guests. Warm greetings from Ireland. Winter here looks more like in tropics, but nevertheless, we've got our Christmas tree. And I hope that every one of you has made your New Year resolution, because it's everything connected with your goals and your intentions. So, being a table topic master, first thing I should do, tell you the rules. My responsibilities is to help you with your impromptu speaking. You will be given 2 minutes to give your answer on one of my questions, and your answer should include clear beginning, middle part, and ending, like a speech, but short one. What's more, after you have delivered your speech, I will invite a person from the audience to be your evaluator. So, there is a special person who will be watching our table topic session. What I wish you to enjoy and to come up with the best ideas in terms of goals and intentions for your life. So, let us start. I think I'll do like that, Eric. I'll announce the first question and then look around the audience. I'm from my cell phone. Maybe I'll need help of Lesia or you. Well, who will raise his hand, okay, will be called out to answer. So the first question goes like that. Is having a goal in life effective in becoming successful or motivating a person? Do you think parents should teach their kids to set and achieve goals? So having a goal in life, is it effective to become successful? Should parents teach their children to set goals? The first volunteer, please. Parents, don't be shy. Are you teaching your kids?
Like Victoria. Looks like Victoria is raising her hand.
Victoria, welcome.
Thank you, Liudmyla. Very interesting question. And as a parent, definitely, I cannot step out not answering this question.
Indeed. Go on.
But you know, to start answering your question, is it so necessarily to set up goals to be successful? Is it the real goal of our life to reach success? Look around. So many books, so many stories on social media, about successful success. All those mothers with a lot of kids, toddlers, but still looking stunning, and she could done thousands of things in the morning and still looks amazing. Huh? I have only one kid, and I can tell you that I hardly remember the very first 2 years of my kid's life. I barely could wash my face. What was the goal for me? Just to have decent meal at least once a day. What about successful success? Ha! No way. So to answer your question, I encourage myself now, being at my 40s, to change my mindset and to set up goals, not to look into all the social media, not to try to reach some blur successful success, but simply try to be happy. And this is a very smart goal, very, very challenging. And it takes a lot of strength and effort, first of all, to be aligned to yourself, and second of all, to be a decent example for your kids. It's not about successful success, it's about happiness. So I wish you to start looking into this direction, just to be happy. Thank you, Liudmyla.
What a victorious start of our table topic session. Thanks a lot. Great. Now, to evaluate Victoria's brilliant answer is going, let me see. The team, please help, because from my cell phone, I don't see many participants.
I don't see anybody yet. Anybody raise your hand to evaluate?
Or I will be choosing.
I can do it if no one else here is raising.
Yes, Eric, please do. Give a brilliant
Okay.
example of professional evaluation. Go.
All right.
Please.
First of all, too, let me encourage you. We're going to do this format here where you'll have the presenter and then we'll have an evaluator. So keep in mind and listen in case you want to be that evaluator person. But let me just say, Victoria spoke from the heart on this issue. And that came really through because of being a mother in that and the caring for the children, seeing the challenges that are out there with them, with the children, sometimes being strayed to go towards these unattainable things or these huge distractions to happiness. We don't need so much for this happiness. And the goals are to keep us focused and grounded and not drifting. And she used the great tool here that I'm going to have to try to pronounce it over here, that the deck told us, Ephesus, if I hope I'm saying it right. Okay. What is it, deck? Ephesus?
Epizeusics.
Yes, Epizeusics. All right, so I can't pronounce it, but you did it well, Victoria. So very good job. Excellent speech. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
All right, so I'm gonna go with my second question. Like, to continue Victoria's way of thinking, guys, do you think goals are necessary to achieve success, or we can go with the flow? How are plans and goals related in your life and in the lives of those who surround you? So, are goals necessary to achieve success, or you can go just with the flow, relating of plans and goals, looking for a proper volunteer? It can be a gentleman this time, I suppose.
Oh, I saw Tatiana had her arm up first and Oleksandr second, but I don't know if Tatiana wanted to respond to Victoria or not. I think we have 1 and 1. Tatiana, did you want to speak?
I want to speak, yes.
Oh, hi, Tatiana. Go on, darling.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My thoughts about that are next. If you have a goal and if this goal is strict for you, your life can be much better than without a goal. Why? Once one man told, when I was a teenager, I was in love, but I was not very good appearance. I was very shy and I was very tall. I didn't have muscles. And I was in love with a girl who liked men with muscles, strong men, like heavyweight men, or like men, you know. And that's why he went to the gym. He pushed himself to be better. And after that, after some years, he told, I was in love and my life just vanished, but my muscles didn't. So I think if you have correct goal and if your goal is your passion and this is your energy which you put in the right goal, it would give you the positive results, and these results can be children, maybe the job, maybe good vacation, maybe some interesting moments in your life, maybe new friends. But the right moment in life, it's when you have the right goal, because we also have such an interesting movie. It's like, I remember it's the music which is Rammstein, and this is like a road to nowhere. And this is a thing about a person who was in love in woman, and nothing was working right. He was in one time he was a very rich man, and it didn't work out with her. And a second time he was another person, but she was a very bad girl for him. So what we need in life, this is a goal, and the goal should be right. And if we have a goal, this goal can help us to avoid some bad things in our life and to make our life better, smarter, and like more interesting, and to give our life more color than it's just a life without any goal. Thank you.
A brilliant speech. Thanks so much. I know what movie you're talking about. Yeah, goals somehow help us to follow right direction in life. Totally agree. Maybe Oleksandr will evaluate your speech. Or is there anyone else who has something to say? Or Dmytro
Anyone else want to
Nazarenko?
evaluate us?
I see Timer is raising his hand. Is it about time or you want to be evaluator, Dmytro?
No. That he just has his hand up for other.
everyone to be visible, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did Sergei, did you raise your hand to respond? No. Okay. And Maria, you had your hand up before too. No? Okay.
Nataly is raising.
So
Nataly?
Nataly, okay.
I'm raising my hand to evaluate Tatiana's speech, and what would I like to say during this minute that I have? That Tatiana has tailored, as usual, she has tailored a really interesting short speech with examples, with personal examples, and those examples made her speech brighter and made her speech more appealing, because it is always interesting to listen to some stories. So that is a huge the huge thing that is great in Tatiana's speech. What would I suggest here? I would suggest two things. You might leave only one story, or you might take all those two stories in the row, one after another one. However, to have that conclusion be at the end, be clear and be more understandable. All in all, the speech was bright and the speech was interesting to listen, and looking forward to your next table topics. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot, dear Nataly. Yes, the time for speakers 2 minutes, for evaluation about 1 minute. So my next question goes like that. Do you think it's a good idea to write your goals down and tick them off as you achieve them? What about stuff like New Year resolution? So keeping your goals in mind or writing them down and crossing out as soon as you achieved them, and things like New Year resolutions just to mark your plan for the following year. Who wants to volunteer? I hope one of the gentlemen present today will do. So guys, don't be shy. Raise your hands.
See, Antonia's hand is up. That's all I see.
All right.
So Antonia, I guess.
If she's ready, great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lucy, for your question. I am a hypnotherapist, so I love people's New Year resolutions because they come to me saying, I want to lose weight. I want to stop smoking. And I love it because I help them stop smoking in an hour. I help them lose weight. But most people, when they want to lose weight, what do? They join a gym. Now, gym owners love people who join gyms because they give them lots of money in January. They go 3 times, and by February, they forget to go. They keep saying they're going to go, but they don't. March comes, April, oh, I must go back to the gym. It's a goal. They want to lose weight, but they haven't quite got a reason, a motivation, and they just give up. So the gym owner makes lots of money in January and very little membership throughout the year. So those sort of goals are not really goals, New Year resolutions. Those are not the good ones to have. The good ones to have are ones that you write down, preferably somewhere you can see them, either on a piece of paper, you see a lot, written up on your notice board or by a mirror, or I have a book of lifetime goals. And you know, sometimes I go back to that book and I find I've achieved some of those goals without even having to think about it because I've written them down. And therefore they go into the subconscious, and my subconscious starts finding a way to make things happen because the subconscious doesn't know any difference between reality and imagination. It finds a way to create a reality out of your imagination. It's quite incredible. You just have to commit to those goals by writing them down or saying them out loud if you use affirmations or visualizations, that sort of thing. So those are the things I go for. Better than New Year resolutions, goals every single time. You don't have to start on the 1st of January. You can start anytime. And why not on the 7th of January? Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Brilliant. We're happy to have you here, a professional who knows everything about goals. And you know what? After I heard you, I came up to conclusion that there are 2 richest people in the world, casino owner and gym owner. Yeah, I'm not giving my money to the gym. I prefer dancing. You know, I can do it wherever I like and like how much I like and when I like and even for nothing. Thanks a lot. Wonderful answer, really deep. And I really liked when you mentioned a long-term life goals. I'll take it into consideration. And now I'm looking for the perfect person to evaluate your brilliant speech. Eric, will you help me, please?
Yeah, please raise your hand.
Thanks
you'd
one
like to
more time,
evaluate.
Antonia.
I can be a brilliant person to evaluate Antonia's.
Oh.
All right, Victoria, go ahead.
Victoria, go on.
Yeah, thank you very much, Antonia. It's first time we meet each other online, and greatly appreciate for your speech. During your speech, you touched I believe not only my deep soul button, yeah, but for all active minds, I believe those are all there. For active minds looking for ways to be happy and for ways to achieve the state, it's very important, yeah, to build this connection between the real life, real circumstances, subconscious, and your resources, what actually you can do. And it was for me quite personal to hear that some goals, especially life long-term goals, could be achieved even without any additional efforts, just by proper formulating, by writing them down, by committing to them. This is a great thing we need to remember as we have our prepared speeches. It's the most, the biggest difference between impromptu, that we need to come prepared to achieve goals, especially long-term goals. We need also to be prepared, and it's very simple to do this. The things that we need to do this, and this communication from your side was very clear, short and clear. Don't wait for 1st of January, and you can start your commitments whenever you want to start them. Thank you very much for your speech.
Thanks a lot for brilliant evaluation. So the next question, being honest, I know who's gonna answer it, but let's give it a try. So, do you think people have less goals as they get older? And do you personally believe that people must work hard to become successful? Why or why not? And how will you feel if you fail to achieve your goals? So, becoming older, do people have less goals in life than before? And do people have to work hard to achieve their goals? Who wants to be volunteer? If it's not, I know who I'm inviting. We need mature, experienced person to answer the question.
We have
I have
hands.
Vladimir, Maria, and anyone else.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure that
Maybe-
whether I'm mature enough.
Okay.
I'm just 33.
Usually Vladimir Ukrainets, I think. Yeah.
I'm from Slovakia.
Maybe you wanted a male here to speak. So did you, Vladimir Ukrainets, have his hand too? Did you have yours too, Vladimir?
Which Vladimir are you
I have two
referring to?
Vladimirs.
Because we have two
Ukrainets,
Vladimirs?
Vladimir Ukrainets had his name
okay.
up, right? Vladimir? Yeah, let's Vladimir Ukrainets, maybe we can have him speak.
Thank you for your question, Liudmyla. It's just you reminded me of my answer to the table topics contest, which I tell you. Well, I want to tell you that it does not depend on the age. Every time we need to improve, and in every age you can change your life. I know one actor who, at the age of 57, changed his life when he played the main role. And and before that, he was in the shadow of his brother, who was more famous because his name was the actor who changed his life was Lev Borisov, and his brother Oleg Borisov played the role of Spirit Golokhvastov, whose monument is now standing in Kiev in Andreevsky Uzvis. And Lev Borisov was always jealous of his brother, but his main problem, because of his character, because of problems with alcohol, and at the age of 57, he played the main role in the movie, and he became famous. He was known in the streets. He received a lot of main roles in other movies, and he became famous. And his words in the movie which he changed his life became quotes, or like we said, memes. And as for another man who changed his life, he went to the show which was called once X Factor, and he sang there. He was 71. And the judges were impressed by his voice that one of them, Igor Kondratyuk, asked, "How old are you?" "I'm 71. "No way. Your voice sounds like 30, not 71. It's brilliant." And he said, this man, is that it's in my age, life is only beginning. So I want to tell you that it does not matter how old are you. Life is just a beginning. And I want to make a quotation which is always told me by my mother. If you have a wish, you have thousands of ways to do it. If you don't have a wish, you have thousands of reasons not to do it. Thank you for your attention.
Wow, great. I'm impressed. Thanks a lot. Can I ask you, dear Dek Cluskey, to evaluate Vladimir's speech, please?
Yes, no problem at all. That was fabulous. I love all those bits. Everything you said, I believe in, but I'm not here to talk about what you said, but the way that you said it. You have may I blast in straight away with a recommendation? As I say, I love the way you speak. I love the thoughts. Everything about it is terrific. But you have the Zen problem, which a lot of people from your part of the world have. Zat and Zen. Irish people have got the same issue, but we cannot pronounce TH. So Irish people always say turd or tree. Three fellas were walking along the road looking for three fellers, F-E-L-L-E-R-S. That's supposed to be a joke, by the way. But you have the Zen problem, and I would suggest, yeah, just watch it. You had a few grammarian problems, which I don't think you even realize you're doing. You put things the wrong way around. Like you said, it doesn't matter how old are you. It should be, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's just putting things the wrong way around. And you're probably so used to doing that, and probably so used to nobody picking you up on it, that you do it all the time. But that was fabulous. I loved it. You can absolutely my thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Well,
Thanks.
I think thanks, yeah. Thanks. Thousands of thanks. I'm practicing your Irish English here, you know. Sometimes it gets me really crazy, but more or less, I like Irish variant of English, being honest, much better than British, than American, than Australian, whatever. So I'm happy to be here. Yes, yes, yes. Ireland is the right place for me. It's for sure. Well, we are slowly coming to the last question. So last question. I would like you to share the goal you have achieved so far and tell the audience about your next 5 years plan. So sharing the goal you have achieved so far and sharing your 5 next years plan with goals to improve your life. Guys, who is brave enough?
I don't see anybody yet.
Well, sharing the goal which you have achieved, yes, and sharing your plans for the next 5 years of life. A lot of witnesses this lucky person will have, who will remind him or her.
I think you'll have to pick someone, Liudmyla. Oh, Maria's got her hand up. Maria does. You're on mute, Maria.
So, Madam Tabletop Master, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I wish I had got the last question because I had a really good answer to that. But I have a really good answer to this one too. I want to become a DTM. And how do I plan to do this? Persevere, persevere. Give speeches in many different clubs. Don't lose track of the fact that you want to reach this before you die. Because to answer your last question, I think people who are older actually have more of a sense of goals because you realize your time is running out. The clock is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Now, the clock maybe is not ticking so much with the DTM. The only challenge I have is pathways. Pathways and I are not on the best terms. And I find it rather difficult to maneuver. Although Toastmasters this year, this year, is going to be rolling out a new knowledge management system. So I hope with that, I will find it easier to get around. Other than that, up to now, I have been a passionate Toastmaster. I am a charter member of my club, the last person who is still around. And it has always been important for me, even though sometimes I've had pressures and demands and things like I've thought, no, I don't have the time, or I can't be giving speeches. My mindset is different now. I have a goal in mind. I want to be DTM before I die. And to this end, I ask you all to help me with this. Share me the names of your clubs, and I will be glad to come and give speeches. Lots and lots and lots of speeches. Another thing I'd like to say, thank you very much for welcoming me into this environment. I feel so at home. You know, the thing about Toastmasters, you can go anywhere in the world and feel like you belong to part of something. And I thank you for the opportunity to join the meeting today. And with that, I return control of the meeting to our table topics master, Lucy, Irish Ukrainian.
Yes, thanks so much. I wish you to achieve your goal. It's really valuable goal, and all Toastmasters community will benefit from you achieving your goal. So I wish you to achieve it because you look like kind of really ambitious, goal-oriented person, and your goal will make this world better. Thanks. Thanks so much. And we come to evaluation. There is a person I'm happy to evaluate, Lesia. Yeah, if Alicia is here.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Thank you so much. And thank you, Maria, for sharing your aspirations to become a distinguished Toastmaster. I'm a 5 times distinguished Toastmaster myself, so I think you're speaking to the right person here tonight. I've been a program quality director, public relations manager, and also an admin manager. So I could steer you on the path of what is required to become a leader in this organization. I love that you shared your aspirations with us and that you really want to talk and be outside of your comfort zone. I think that is one of the magical parts that you have shared, and you really gave us that vulnerability and have said, I will be here to do the speeches, and also that you are struggling with pathways. So this is the challenge I have for you. What is it that you are struggling with pathways? Because I've done all 11 paths and I'm about to do it for the second time as well. As I said, I've got the 5 DTMs, but what is it that we need to see that you can challenge yourself with? Where do you need to start with the pathways? What can we do to assist you with your goals so that we can, get you on track within the next 2 years to get your DTM? That's the challenge I put to you. Put your details into the chat box and I'm more than happy to help you and guide you to get your DTM in the next 2 years. Back to you, Lucy.
Oh, yes. Thanks so much. You see how connections are made at Toastmasters. Right people ask right question, right people answer right questions, and right people evaluate those who answer right questions given by right people. Great start of the year. Great first Sunday at Toastmasters. Dnipro Hill Club is really special for me. It's my first ever club and it's my favorite one. I'm happy to join it after 20 years I started with it. So thanks so much, everyone. I wish every one of us set our goals, enjoy the process of achievement, and have brilliant results. Returning my control to Mr. Toastmaster of today.
Thank you very much, Liudmyla. Let's give Liudmyla a big hand over here for very thought-provoking questions. She really thought through this issue well here. And we're going to have 1 minute. You're going to get to vote. I think there's a link here, and I think you get to vote for both the speaker and the evaluator. So pick one of each. There's 2 links. Sorry, there's the table topic, speaker, and the evaluator. So could we have a minute, please, Mr. Timer? All right, it looks like our time is up. So guys, we're kind of coming down to the end over here for the meeting, the formal parts of the meeting. But we're going to have one more session where we get to have the technical team give us their feedback on things. And first up, we have our grammarian, Deck. Please tell us what you heard and what you want to share. Floor is yours. You're on
Here
mute.
we go.
Yeah,
I know I'm on mute. We're all allowed to do 1 or 2 of those. I just couldn't get to it quick enough. Oh, let's get started straight away. Right from the start, Lesia, the big thing that came through to me, but a lot of the girls particularly, as regards speaking English, I know, I'm in awe of the way you speak English. I'm in awe because I don't know 1 word of Ukrainian, so there we are. I know a little bit of Italian, a little bit of Spanish, but that's about me. You've got to think about the word already. It's hilarious to me because all the comics, all the funny comedians in the world make fun of the Jewish accent, and the Jewish accent is, I am here already. I'm going to go there already. Everything is already. And it's very funny, amusing for us to hear Ukrainians use this already all the time. Don't know where it comes from. It's lovely good. Alicia as well. You had this funny way of saying things. You said when you were introducing Nataly, stage to you. It's what we call uncomfortable. But I just watched those things. Eric was terrific. He had a triplet right at the start, which was lovely, saying something 3 times, which is lovely, which is epizeusics. And that was wonderful. And a couple of phrases that Eric used that people should use, write them down and pick up on. That American thing of this upcoming year, instead of saying next year. It's a lovely way of saying next year, this upcoming year. And I love another little phrase that Eric used a lot was, with that said. And with all that said, it just makes you sound like a good talker. And whoops, for Eric, you were using so all over the place, but I'm sure the R counter will pick you up on that. Dmytro, you will see me on the green background. You kept on saying things like that, Dmytro. It's very uncomfortable because it's the green background you're talking about. You're not talking about you. So you kept on saying, you will see me on the yellow background. No, you will see the yellow background. Very simple. Nataly again, already on the stage. Sergei, again with the alreadys, and again with the Zen problem. It's funny, Indian people have got problems with W. They can't say W. Irish people can't say TH. And seemingly, Ukrainian people have got a problem as well. So you keep on saying Zen. But there we go. I must say, as regards Sergei, in your speech, a great trick I give people when they're learning another language. And I did it myself all those years ago, because I didn't speak English until I was 17. I wasn't allowed to speak English. That's really the reason. I went to a Gaelic-speaking school. But listen to the news on World Service, BBC World Service, and I would say to you, get a transcript of the news, like for blind people, for deaf people, you know, that sort of thing. And then listen to the way the guy is talking, record it, and then look at the transcript. And that will improve your way of speaking enormously. Lesia again. Oh no, Eric came in with the measurability and the attainability. That was really, they were what's called muscular words. Eric had that. That was lovely. I'll rush through. There was a lot of yeahs going on, which is no good. I would say to Oleksandr, careful of using dialect. It's very easy to slip into that I mean stuff and like and stuff. Don't do it. It makes you, for us English people and Irish people and Americans and that, it makes you feel like a not such a good speaker. But altogether, really terrific. Very few people use the epizeuxis, I must say. Victoria was the one that got closest. She said bye, 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 a few more. And Maria Therese, look, you said persevere, persevere. And I was waiting for the third one, because you said persevere, persevere, persevere. It's wonderful. It sounds well. Try to do that. And thank you very much, Eric. Back to you. That's my time up.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Dick. Appreciate that. And now we come up to the session that I sort of fear the most. If I have one Achilles heels in Toastmaster, it's my crutch words. But Nataly, please be kind to me, but give us the proper feedback. To you, please.
Thanks very much, Eric. Actually, it's going to be not Eric's crush sounds report, but the all meetings crush sounds report. So just relax. What would I like to tell you, to tell everyone who's present here at the meeting, that if we put all these sounds and the necessary words in the row, we would create a song with the sounds like so, and those epizeuxis, I hope I pronounced it right, and some special sounds. However, I would like to tell really fast, in a really brief way, the contribution of every one of us to this very long song, because this song would be at least 3 minutes or maybe 5 minutes if we put together all those sounds. Eric, you were talking a lot because you are Toastmaster of the day. It's no wonder that you have many, about 10 or 15 airs, the same R, then arms, even more than 4 so, about 6 and. You have those repetitions. I have already had air now. And your personal sound is R. Okay, the next one, dark. No, not so many, but about 4 R's and about 6 arms. Dmytro, only 1 arm. Pretty clear speech. Me, during introduction of my role, I caught nothing, but later I caught about 2 or 3 S, 1 R, and 1 arm. Maybe there were more, but I haven't caught it. Okay, Sergei. Sergei had been delivering a speech, so that is why he had many S, R's, and arms. Dozens of them. Okay, the person was delivering a speech. Okay, Lesia. The same. Dozens of S, R's, arms, and a special sound about 4 times. Another speaker evaluator during the evaluation, Vladimír had about 10 or 15 S and about 10 R's, 3 arm and 2 ends, and a special sound and saying and then air. Then Alex had 3 S and 1 unnecessary end. Liudmyla also was talking a lot. That is why she had about 7, I guess, S, 8 R's, and 3 or 4 So's. Victoria, 1 R, 3 R, 2 arms. Tatiana, 8 S, 3 R's, a lot of N's, unnecessary. Antonia is clear, congratulations and thank you. Vova, about 4 S. Maria Teresa, no crash sounds. Alicia, I got no crash sounds. So I would like to thank everyone for being present at this meeting, for delivering to our meeting, and for contributing to our meeting and contributing to this song that sometimes is inevitable. And back to you, Eric.
All right, thank you, Nataly. Very nice. We'll have to hear that song. I don't think it'll be a top 10 hit, but I think would be interesting anyway. All right, last up on our technical team, Dmytro, you've been diligently looking at the clock. What do you have to report?
Well, yes, I have to. Hello again, and well, hopefully we'll have a blast during this meeting. I did at least, but let me walk through the time the each of you took during your prepared speeches and your improvised speeches, as well as the evaluations. So now the prepared speeches. The first one was by Sergii. Sergii took 6 minutes and 27 seconds, so he was very much on time. Lesia took a bit more, 8.5 minutes exactly. And the evaluations as well were pretty much on time. 3 minutes and 15 seconds for Vladimír and 3 minutes and 25 seconds for Oleksandr. Now moving on to the table topic sessions. So, the times that each of the speakers took was a bit more than 2 minutes, but it was still not enough to be disqualified if you were at a table topics speech contest. So Victoria took 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Tatiana took 2 minutes and 34 seconds. Antonia took 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Volodymyr took, I lost track of the time a little bit, but it was just under 3 minutes. Maria took 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And the evaluations as well were, well, pretty much within the allotted time limits. So Eric took 1 minute and 15 seconds. Nataly took 1 minute and 17 seconds. Cluskey 1 minute and 35 seconds. Alicia 1 minute and 15 seconds. Oh, and Victoria exactly 2 minutes. And well, that is basically it for me. I will put my timer's report in the chat of our meeting and in our Telegram chat as well in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Dmytro. it's a lot of work, I know, hitting the on and off and the timing and all that. I've done it before, you know, so it's energy consuming. Thank you. All right, and then on to the voting. Who won our best speaker and evaluator? Lesia, please tell us.
Oh, I am already like finished it, but please take me additional few seconds for this.
Okay, all right. Go
Okay.
ahead, keep coming up over here to go through it. Everybody did a really good job today as well. I appreciate it. I'll actually say most of my final thoughts here on the goals. I want you all to kind of think about where you want to go over here. You know, we have a situation sometimes where life gets in the way of goals and you're just sort of getting through where you have to go through. But goals can help you get through that a lot easier. And you don't have to be so structured all the time, but we kind of always have to know where we're going. Otherwise, we wander. So that's my feedback on it. I've always sort of not believed in just go with. I mean, I go with the flow, but also in some sort of a pattern. Otherwise, you can wander into places you don't want to be. So, how are we doing there, Lesia? Go ahead.
Thank Eric for giving me such additional seconds, because we have a very like tough competition between the best table topic speakers. So we have two winners, and the first winner is Maria Teresa. Maria Teresa, congratulations. Yeah, your speech about DTMs, etc., won a heart of a lot of us. And like the second winner, but not like the second, like another winner, okay? Victoria Nikolina, thanks again for your speech. Yeah, it's just a certificate for your speech. You were the first one over today. And about our best table topic evaluator, we also have the winner in this competition. It's Alicia Curtis. So Alicia, as usual, thanks for all your input in our meetings and for evaluations as well. It's all for me, Eric.
All right. So I already kind of finished up my thoughts to you, you know, on the goals. I'm glad. Thanks for participating in here today. And again, may all your goals come true. And with that, I will hand it over to Area Director Nataly Parubocha. Please, stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Eric, and thanks to everyone who have participated in today's meeting. Thanks to everyone who took the roles. And first of all, huge round of applause, or at least visible round of applause, to our today's Toastmaster, Eric. Thank you for preparing that goals topic for us with all these charts and with all that pieces of advice that would definitely help us structurize our next year's goals. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who delivered speeches, who participated in the impromptu speeches and impromptu evaluations. And thanks to everyone who took other roles and who just participated, who just was listening and contributing thus to our meeting. There were up to 30 people today at the meeting, 29 I saw, and that is amazing. Thank you very much. And after I conclude the meeting, I'm just concluding, but I haven't just done it yet. We are going to have the after party. Our after parties, as far as I told you at the beginning of this meeting, are often interesting, often informative, emotional. So please stay after some announcements I'm going to have now for you now. So the first announcement is that the Dnipro Hills Club has its online meetings once a month, approximately, on Sundays. Of course, always this link, once a month on 12 p.m. Kyiv time. However, the same link, every week, besides our meetings, there's another club having online meeting, English-speaking meetings at this link. it is a Best Odesa Speakers Club, and they are meeting an hour later. So it is 12 p.m. Kyiv time, and it is 1 p.m. Kyiv time for Best Odesa speakers. So 12 p.m. Dnipro Hills and 1 p.m. every Sunday. So in a week, everyone is invited to attend Best Odesa speakers meeting and contribute to it and take a role and have fun and so on. Odesa is famous for being a capital of humor in Ukraine. So they always have really funny and really appealing meetings in the matter of fun. Another announcement is about the Dnipro Hills, the following Dnipro Hills online meeting. It is going to be our hybrid format contest that we are going to have on the 18th of February. So everyone is invited. If you want to contribute as a judge, or if you want to take another role, especially if you are a member of Dnipro Hills Club and you want to be a contestant. So please contact me, Lesia or Eric, me first of all, because I'm the VP head of this club. And if you just want to witness how it all happens in Dnipro Hills, just welcome on the 18th of February at the same time, 12 p.m. Having said all of that, I'm ready. I already ready to conclude the meeting. I announced the meeting adjourned, and let us have the final photo. So switch on your cameras. Everyone who is here, set your face to have the best smile ever you had ever, and just let's help Lesia take the best picture he has take ever. So guys, smile and thumbs up, and some of your online reactions like that. All is done. The meeting is over. It is